Hi everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another Scottish royal news video. So as you can tell, I'm still up in the Highlands. You can probably tell from a few little dots over my face. So are the Scottish gnats. Honestly, it's like they're on steroids. We had a beautiful day off island a couple of days ago because the weather was really nice and we went across to a beach. We had a very, very long walk to find the beach called Singing Sands. And it was a glorious day, but of course a little bit of sunshine when you've had rain. The gnats love it, and they were swarming us as we were walking through the woodlands, which it was stunning. Honestly, this was one of the best days that we've had as an adventure off the island of Carna, so really enjoyed it. But I'll tell you more about my holiday when I come back, when I eventually get round to doing my purple videos, which will be starting very soon. So for royal news on Monday, it was a very poignant day, but it was also a very beautiful day. It was 3 years since the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, and the tributes, the photographs, the artworks, the stories, the videos, everything that was shared on social media, it was honestly beautiful. To wake up on Monday and to just have that in my Twitter feed, it really was glorious. There was some beautiful photographs that I'd never seen of Her Late Majesty. There were some lovely ones of her and Philip, which always choke me up, but I always have that kind of sense that I know that they're together, and it gives me a sense of comfort. And of course, the cartoons that people did, they get me in the feels. The Paddington one always makes me choke up, but this is the one. So if I'm going to feel it, guys, you're going to feel it as well. I don't know if it's because I'm a dog lover or what, but this one, even just talking about it now, I can feel myself welling up. But there were so many wonderful tributes, and the Queen just had such a beautiful smile from childhood right the way through her life, and it really made me miss her. But it was such a delight, as I said, to just see all these wonderful tributes. It's clear that Queen Elizabeth II meant so much to so many people across different countries, all around the world, all different age groups, and it really was a lovely day for social media. Now, predictably, I'm pretty sure that I even said it on one of the videos, Harry was going to make an appearance. We'd already had it announced that he would be arriving on the day of the anniversary of the Queen's passing. But of course, we then got a press release. We were told that Harry was whisked away from the airport and went straight to his grandmother's grave, where he stayed for 20 minutes and laid some flowers. Obviously, this is a press release because people wouldn't have really known that bit of information unless they were told of Harry's every move. This was a calculated PR stunt, and I'm sorry. He spent 20 minutes stood over his grandmother's grave. 20 minutes spending time with his grandmother whilst she was alive would have been much better received. Giving her flowers in the days before she died rather than refusing to see her would have also been much more well received. Harry, yet again, is sadly using relatives that have passed for his own promotional needs. I will never forget the fact that Queen Elizabeth had asked to see Harry multiple times in the years leading up to her death, and even though Harry and Meghan were staying in the Grace and Favours home, Frogmore Cottage, on the Windsor estate, they still turned down the opportunity to fly to Balmoral to see her, and then she obviously passed in that very same week. The public are not going to forget how Harry treated his grandparents in their later stages of life, and how he's continued that sort of treatment and behaviour to his living family members. Now, this is a quick add-in to the video because the news has come out that Harry did in fact get to meet with his father. The King managed to fit Harry in for less than 55 minutes, and that's not counting the car journey, plus no doubt getting in and out of Clarence House. The King had several meetings on that day, so whilst some people are saying, oh, they're definitely reconciling, I wouldn't be too sure of that. You saw Harry's smug face as he went in, and then Harry looking like a slapped ass by the time that he left. Obviously, that meeting did not go well. Some people are saying Harry was upset because the King has revealed personal details to do with his cancer battle. I do not believe that for 1 second. The King may be a loving father, but he is just simply not that stupid. I think that that was little more than a business meeting, and he had to do it in a way because it shut down Harry's victim poor me narrative. I do not think for 1 second that the King is welcoming Harry back with open arms. I mean, Seriously, how can they expect anybody to trust that little snake? He can't even visit his grandmother's grave without selling every tiny tawdry detail to the media for public consumption. Then we get the Well Child appearance. Oh, this genuinely was laughable to me. This is Harry that's so scared to step foot into the UK. He hasn't stopped bitching about the fact his security has been stripped from him. Look at him step out this car like he's at a film premiere as his ex-presidential bodyguard opens the door for him because Harry's too important to open the door for himself. But this whole stunt has been perfectly timed. He knew that Catherine and William, the king and queen, Sophie and Edward, Princess Anne, everybody, he knew that the royal family would have a very, very busy week at the end of the summer. And this is why Harry has timed it. But social media did something perfectly. Honestly, hats off to everybody. Nobody posted about Harry. Nobody used his name. Harry was not trending, no matter how many little stunts that he's done, how many cute, candid moments that he's had filmed for the camera at the Well Child Awards. No, there has been a total media blackout, and even mainstream media are not even commenting on him. And you know what? It's been total bliss. So as for the King and Queen, there were some lovely photographs released of them attending the Braemar Games, although Queen Camilla got in a little bit of an online shtick, and that is because she was not dressed in black. It is sadly, at the time we remember Queen Elizabeth, we have recently lost another member of the royal family, which is the Duchess of Kent. And normally in the period of mourning up until the funeral is held and everybody says their final goodbyes, it's very normal for members of the royal family to wear dark colours. We often see pearls as the jewellery of choice. And Queen Camilla was obviously not wearing black. The king, however, was. But this led people to believe, of course, there was naturally some sort of family feud going on. She hates the Duchess of Kent. But do people really think that Queen Camilla would truly be that disrespectful? She's never put a foot wrong since she's been with Charles, properly, shall we say, and she's become queen. There's no way she would openly be that disrespectful to the Duke of Kent, and she was wearing a black armband. I think that some people probably would have had a go at Camilla if she'd have turned up dressed all in black anyway. They would have been, oh, what about the games? I just find there are too many people willing and waiting at every opportunity to try and get a sideswipe in at Queen Camilla. But tell me your thoughts. Are you offended by the fact that she wasn't dressed all in black? There was a bit of me at first glance. Perhaps she should have worn a black overcoat over the top of her beautiful dress, but she still wore a black armband. She still paid her respects. Now, Catherine and William, the Prince and Princess of Wales, they were at two separate rugby games, but my lordy, those two are such a gorgeous couple. Catherine was dressed in black with a beautiful blouse that we have seen before when she wore her Victoria Beckham olive green suit. Her hair has yet again caused a spin. Yes, people are still not over the fact that she had her hair lightened. Some media outlets were quick to say that Catherine, obviously because of the backlash, decided to dye her hair dark again. Clearly, people don't understand how some hair colouring works. I mean, I have blonde hair when it's down. When I tie my hair back, it looks darker brown. If you have your hair photographed in direct sunlight, it can look lighter. If you're inside a rugby stadium, it can also look darker. But seriously, people, it's time to get a grip and to move on. Anybody would think that she did a Britney Spears and shaved her head and tried to whack a photographer with an umbrella, the amount of hoo-ha that this is causing. She looked practically perfect in every way. And it's not just me that thought that, because she paid a visit to the Aussie girls, the Wallaroos, inside the women's changing rooms. And they were more than happy, and I would say pretty excited to have actually met the princess themselves. Catherine is loved all around the world because she is a genuine, sweet, loving, kind person. She actually takes the time to listen to people when she meets them. She comes across as completely engaging with everybody that she meets. And most people, I would say 99% of the population, would also have a whopping great big grin on their face if they ever had the pleasure to meet her. Now, with regards to the royal power couple, couple doing another joint engagement together, this was a bit of a surprise because Prince William was meant to be attending this one particular event by himself, and there was a last minute change and Catherine went with him, which I'm sure was a lovely surprise as well for the Women's Institute, who were more than delighted to host both of them. Queen Elizabeth II was a member of the WI for over 80 years after joining in 1943, and she was the president of the Sandringham branch from 2003 until her passing. Catherine and William got to chat to the many lovely ladies about their experiences meeting the Queen across the many decades, which I'm sure would have been a very special moment for Prince William, hearing these lovely stories about his late grandmother. The women were completely overjoyed with Prince William, who seemed to try as many sweet treats as he possibly could. Prince William was enjoying the chocolate brownie so much he actually asked one member if he could join the WI. He was quickly shot down by Hilary Fraser, and she said, "Not unless you wear a skirt." William, quick as anything, responded with, "Well, for a chocolate brownie, Hilary, you never know what I'll do." As it turns out, he's a bit of a brownie connoisseur, and we learnt something about how he's very particular about the ingredients that go in them.
Very funny brownies, though. I know my brownies.
Very fussy about it.
Very fussy about it. You can put nuts in them, so. Never put nuts in them.
So there you have it, guys. If ever you are given the opportunity to bake Prince William some brownies, remember, no nuts. And just to remember that, all you've got to do is think of Harry. So on that note, guys, I will be back with you very soon because we've had more outings from the Prince of Wales and more publicity stunts by his younger brother. See you soon. Bye.